This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective podcast. All right, welcome back to the Coonhound Collective podcast this week. This week I am running solo once again. My partner in crime, I didn't get to mention him last week because I was talking with Mr. Tim Kramer. But my partner in crime is still out hunting a shack pup. You know, I hunted against Cheyenne's Friday night. I guess I should have asked him if he could have hooked him up with a shack pup. So, Brett, next time I'm around Cheyenne, I'll see if I can fix you up and get you a pup, young dog at a shack, or somebody got a walker dog, young walker dog you wanted to give him. I'm sure he'd take him. Boy, he's had a hard time finding one. I mean, what is this? 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row he's been MIA on here. So we're gonna get him straightened out, get him something that he can hunt found, and get him headed in the right direction. But anyway, today we'll do some talking in a minute. But before that, I definitely want to send our thoughts and prayers, continue prayers with the people that's been affected by the devastation of the flooding and stuff that's went on over in North Carolina and eastern Tennessee. And I seen Lane Leverett had posted on Facebook they were going to take, I think, a food trailer, a food truck, and some food and some different things like that. And this next week, go set up and just feed some people and love on some people. And I think that's an awesome thing. A lot of the Coonhound community is coming together to help their fellow man, and so I think that's a good thing. And just continued thoughts and prayers with those people out there that's been affected by this. I know that's got to be a bad deal for sure. I've been through a lot of hurricanes, but never seen anything quite like that with the mudslides and stuff like that. So just keep those people in your thoughts and prayers, and individually, if there's something you can do, somebody in the area, maybe you can reach out to them and see where you can get involved to be able to help with either some time or money or sending items or, whatever it would be. All right, so I'm going to start off with, I got some messages. I don't know how much y'all enjoyed it, but I enjoyed sitting down with Mr. Tim and recording that podcast with him, and to me, I think it turned out great. I would hope all you listeners out there thought the same thing. And man, what some knowledge in the dogs that he's had. So I had some messages about that. I've got a couple here. The first one's from Michael Harold Jr., and this is what he said to me. "You've had some good programs, but this week's program was absolutely great." Michael, I really appreciate you sending me that message. It's encouraging to get those type of messages from you listeners out there. And another one from Michael Ryder. "I love the podcast." And Michael is actually, I think, listening to me from Canada, because he said if I ever find myself in Canada, I'd be happy to put you on some coons. Well, Michael, if I ever find myself in Canada, I'll be happy to reach out to you. And I'm sure y'all got some like little mini bears up there or something. I couldn't even imagine, but I appreciate that. And if I find myself up that way, I'll definitely reach out to you. I think that would probably be pretty cool to go tree some coons in a different country. And I do have a Apple review here that I want to read, and this is actually on, I don't know if y'all got a chance to listen to it. Garrett Cunningham released a podcast under me that, talking about beagles and stuff. And it's just some extra content for y'all to enjoy, and just trying to help Garrett out, get going here. And this is a review from Forestdale Kennels. It's titled Beagles. "Love Garrett's podcast with the little dogs. Would love to hear more like it." Well, just hang in there, Forestdale Kennels. I talked to Garrett this week, and I think he's working on some podcast stuff now, so he'll have some more to release and get out there and help get some more content out there. And if y'all are listening to this, just take a moment and click the share button. Share this on your social media. If you're listening on Apple, leave us an Apple review. If you're listening on YouTube, you can leave us a comment there. All those things are not only encouraging to us, but they also help with, the algorithms that, whatever the social media, things do. So we appreciate all that. And if you can leave us a review, we would greatly appreciate it. So this week, first let me say this. Thank you to everyone that's left a review, left a comment, sent a message, sent an email. I truly do appreciate those things, and those things encourage me to help us keep going and help pushing through to have more episodes. So truly do appreciate that. So keep those things coming. We'll keep reading them on here. And matter of fact, I have one more. This come from YouTube. I think it's called Barbie's Bulldogs. Thank you for doing this podcast. It means a lot to someone like me that doesn't have anyone to hunt with. Well, I'm glad that we could do that, and that was in reference to Mr. Tim Kramer's podcast that he put on. So I like being able to get some knowledge from these people that we have on the podcast. Maybe it will help us learn, and something. And this will lead into what I was thinking about today, but something that, I was thinking about, with Mr. Tim, he was talking about dogs that, move around, stay out of trouble. And I want to touch a little bit on competition hunting today, and because that's kind of the mode I'm in right now. But, when we're out there hunting our hounds, for one, we have to be realistic with ourselves. Is this dog really, and I guess, let me back up. I guess it depends on what your intention is with the hound that you're hunting. If you're, pleasure hunting and you just, want to go hit a few hunts to, hang out, at the club, or maybe have a dog good enough to win a few local hunts, that's okay. And hey, everybody's different. Maybe that is what your goal is. But if your goal, I believe, is, and it is mine, to be able to get to the place where I have the confidence in myself and the dog to hunt some of these bigger hunts at a high level, you have to be realistic with yourself on the dog that you're hunting. Go out and hunt, with some of these other dogs. I mean, Clayton Stark, I think, does a great job at putting videos together of some of these big winning dogs that are out there. You can kind of get an idea by looking at those, but I'm sure if you reached out to some of these people, maybe go to some of these bigger hunts and ask about, spectating, I'm sure somebody will let you walk around as long as you stay out of the way, and you can kind of get an idea of how these dogs operate. It's just a different level of dog. Me and Aaron Gamos talked about this on several occasions. The level of dogs is just like, sports. You have kids that, are good in high school, but they're probably not good enough to play college. You have kids that are good in college, but they're probably not good enough to play professional. And then you have those elite kids, and I can't believe I'm fixing to say this, but for example, I may even throw up a little bit here, but Alabama recruited a player named Ryan Williams out of high school. The kid's 17 years old, starting for Alabama, and has been phenomenal on the field. Just star athlete. So he's probably, you can see that he's got that little extra that's going to probably be seeing him play football on Sundays. Well, it's the same way with the dogs. I mean, every dog has a night where you're thinking, okay, this thing's an idiot and I'm done. But for the most part, you can go through and you can pick out those qualities. Does the dog move around good? Run a stopwatch on them. Are they? How often are they getting treed? Are they beating on tracks they shouldn't be beating on? And I'll give you a perfect example. Creeper. He has laid a few coons up in his lifetime. but he is not a layup dog, and he really struggles when he tries to do that. I took him Friday night to a doubleheader, and I didn't make it first round, but I did go to the second round, and we all got treed out of the truck. We couldn't find coons in none of our trees, so we all, we were all leash locked, so we all recut. When we recut the second time, he got in there, and when he's kind of different. When he starts not barking a whole lot on track, he's trying to work a layup coon up or real cold track up. But when I say not barking a lot, I mean almost zero. And he's moving around kind of back and forth. You can kind of see him on the tracker going back and forth. Well, in that situation, me personally, I just want him to get out of there. Just leave that junk alone and go find something that he can tree. And eventually that's what he did, but the hunt was over. And anyway, we moved on from there. But, you got to know your dog's strengths and weaknesses. And, just like with Creeper, that's not his thing. He needs to learn to get on and leave that stuff alone. And there's been a few times where he's done it, and he's done pretty good. I mean, I think it was last winter or either the winter before, me and my daughter went one night. She went with me, and it was bad cold, and we cut him loose. He didn't say a word on the ground. All of a sudden he just come treed, went in there, and the coon was asleep in the first fork. So he can do it. It's just he's not very good at it. There's just dogs that are good at it, and he's not. So you have to know your dog. But you also, a lot of us is hunting young dogs, and I think sometimes we give up on young dogs too soon, and then sometimes we hold on to those young dogs too long. And that's really probably more of a personal preference than it is for anybody else. I mean, what anybody else says don't matter. It's what makes you happy. Like probably my little bell female I have here, there's probably some guys that'd be done with her because she hadn't started treeing. But there's some things I like about her, so I'm going to hang on to her a little longer and see if we can get her treeing. I mean, she's been running a track to the bottom of a tree that had a coon in it for a long time, even by herself. So the other night I seen some positive things from her. Creeper got treed, had a coon. Belle went on. That's one thing I do like about her. She likes to be by herself. And even with me shooting coon to Creeper and all that ruckus that went on, she could care less. She's on down the creek, and she's open and running track. Even let out a few locates. So I'm sure it's just a matter of time she'll start treeing. But you have to know and make up in your mind, this is the dog I want to continue to try messing with, or hey, I'm done. I'm gonna see if somebody else wants to mess with it, find it a home, whatever you do. But that has to be your decision. Looking on Facebook, all that stuff, that's not going to help you. You have to make the decision of, I'm going to continue hunting this dog or I'm done. Everybody's preferences are different, just like mine and Brett. I mean, we're close buddies. We hunt together quite a bit, but what I like in a dog is probably not what Brett likes in a dog. And everything Brett likes in a dog is not what I like in a dog. So, I like a dog that's action-packed, moves around. Or, as Brett says, that's got a few screws loose. That's what I like. And, make something happen. Sometimes that's not a good thing, because sometimes what they make happen is bad. But that's just my preference. So, saying all that to say, we have to make a decision. I try to set some goals, especially for my young dogs and my puppies. I'm trying to stay away from the little bitty puppy thing right now. I've been kind of frustrated with that here the last year or two, so I'm really trying to stay away. I have a hard time with it because, you see them pups on there and you look at the way they're bred and you're thinking, man, that'd be a good cross. That'd probably make a good dog. But what people don't realize is how much work it takes to put in. These guys that are going out and they're winning at an elite level, night in and night out, they are putting in the work to get these dogs there and get them ready. And that's one thing that you have to consider, especially when you're getting a pup. I mean, there's some time with a pup where there's not really going to the woods, but once it hits that young dog stage, you kind of consistently need to have it in the woods. And that's kind of where I've give Belle the pass, because it's on me. I've got things going on in my life where I've not been able to have her in the woods like I think she should have been. So she's gained herself some more time because of that, and I've had a little bit of grace with her because of that, because it's my fault. But if you're consistently putting those dogs out there and you're not seeing what you like, it's not performing the way it is, you know what, it may be just time to move that dog down the road, and somebody else may take that dog and do some big things with it. I mean, I thought about these dogs that Tim Kramer had, and he'd get these dogs and he'd hunt them, and then he'd either get offered some money for them and sell them, or he didn't like something about them and sell them, and then people go on and do big winning with them. Maybe he got the things worked out and didn't realize he had them worked out, or maybe he did realize he had them worked out, or whatever it was with the situation. The other person liked the way the dog operated. They were able to get on the same page with the dog and go on to do, some big time winning with these dogs. So I think that just speaks volumes of sometimes the dogs just need a change of address. That's where I was at with Creeper when I sold him out there to Mr. Craig. I was aggravated with him, and I was to the point of saying, coon hunting is something I enjoy doing, and I'm not enjoying it right now because of the dog that I'm hunting. I was mad, and I thought, you know what, there's no reason to be mad. Just get rid of him. So I sold him, and then I went on the process of trying to hunt a dog, and little did I know that was going to be way more difficult than what I thought it was going to be. So opportunity come up for me to get him back from Mr. Craig. That's what I did, and me and him's been on the same page so far. So we still got some things to work on. Every time I go to the woods, I'm trying to work on stuff. Right now I'm just trying to kind of keep him up as far as in shape and hunt my young dog. That's what I'm doing. I'd like to get him bred to a couple of females, and not that I really want puppies, but that's the only way I'm going to ever get puppies out of him, to maybe get a dog that I like. Or I might do like Brett and start hunting me a walker dog, one or two. So if he ever finds one. But so y'all have heard me ramble long enough today. The biggest thing here is make sure that you know when to say enough's enough, and it's time for a dog to change address. And then also step back and think about the age of the dog and go, well, it's still young. We see these people on Facebook, and they're posting their 6 month, 7 month, 5 month old pups running and treeing coons. Everybody's hunting conditions is not the same. Where I hunt here at the house, I'm probably not, I may see that freak somewhere that will do it, but for the most part, my dogs are going to take longer than that. And I think if Brett was here, he would agree with that his dogs take longer. We just don't have the coons that other places have to be able to do that. But at the same point, it's about exposure. You have to get them out. You have to take them. You have to expose them to it and just see what happens. And so that's what I encourage you to do. Don't get frustrated, with your young dog. If you are, hey, sometimes you might just need to put it up for a little while. Don't make the mistake of, I'm done with it and selling it and then regret it later. Hey, you can always put it up first, get it back out, and if you're still frustrated with it, then you can sell it. At least you didn't get rid of it right away and you made sure that's what you wanted to do. You can always go back and pull it out the pen. Once you sell it, if they make a dog, sometimes they're tough to get back. Trust me, I tried to buy a Creeper for the last 2 or 3 months back from Craig before he reached out to me and wanted to sell him. So, but just remember, they're all dogs. They're not going to look great every night. Some nights is going to be good, some nights are not. Just be patient. Hunt something that you enjoy hunting. If you don't enjoy hunting it, it may be time for a change, or put it up for a little while, take you a break, and then go back to it. Hunting season is, most places are in full swing. Our hunting season here in Missouri is going to go out for about 30 days here in just a week or so, and then it will come back in November. And when it does, come back in November, I want to be ready, and I will be ready to really put some time in on Belle. She's the only young dog I have here, and see if by the end of the winter, if I can't have her going. And that's something, that you need to think about, is how much time you're able to put in, especially if you're getting a pup or a young dog. It takes a lot of time. And thankfully, with my career, different times of the year, I do have more time. So, and it's fixing to be that time where I will. So, just keep that in mind. Don't get frustrated. Put the dog up for a little while if you need to. Go back and get it out. Maybe the dog does need to change her address and you need a different dog. If that's the case, then, that's the case. But don't give up too quick and don't hang on too long. Don't. If you're looking for something that you're going to hunt on an elite level, you can't. You got to be willing to move them on down the road. So, with that being said, thanks for joining the show this week. I know it was just me rambling along here, but if you've listened this far, I really, really do appreciate it. I'm going to get some guests lined up. I've got a couple more weeks here that's really, really busy for me. And then I'm going to be able to focus a little more time on getting some people lined up here and interview. And we can get Brett out of the hunting a walker dog scene and get him something found here pretty quick. Maybe we can get him back on here to help us do some podcasting, some interviewing and stuff like that. And keep a lookout for those podcasts to drop from Garrett. I think he's doing a good job. He's just getting started. Keep the reviews coming in, the messages coming in, the emails coming in. Really, really do enjoy that. Those messages, that are coming in. Also, real quick, as far as hunts go, my club here in Aurora, Missouri is actually listed as Verona, Missouri on the PKC's website on October the 16th. $300 Pro Classic entries will go on sale. The hunt is November the 9th. It's a 12-dog Pro Classic. So if you're interested in that, maybe jot that date down. October 16th is when they go on sale. Also, do not forget about and we had them on here a while back, the Junior Lasher Memorial Scholarship Bench Show and Hunt. That will be here before you know it in November. So make sure you keep an eye on that if that was something that you was interested in going to. It's fixing to get cool, hopefully, for long. Hunting season to be in full swing. Get out in the woods, enjoy your dog, enjoy hunting. It's a great time to be in the woods. Take a kid hunting with you if you can. Maybe take somebody that's never been before. I've got a couple guys I'm going to take this year that's never even been before. So, if you can, reach out to someone and take them. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for listening this far, and we will see you next week. Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.